Okay, another thing I want to show you quickly, a way to mirror this over and continue working and also be able to affect the other side. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your verts are all lined up here. And you can select all those, hold your X key down, and that will snap those to the grid there. Alright, so I just want to make sure that I only have those snapped. Alright, so once you have that, you can go back to front view, select on the object, and so got the object selected. We want to duplicate special. Bring up the box, and you want to make sure that translation and rotation are all zeroed out. Go ahead and put -1. You only want one copy, but you want an instance. Just like we work with instance objects in Max, we can work them here in Maya as well. So anything that we affect on this side will also affect the instance object. So duplicate special, and there you have it. So if I go back to the original, I'll select on a vert, you can see that you also get, even though it's not even selected, you get the same deformation as you work on the other side as well. The other thing I want to show you is we pull this up and go ahead and there we go, soft select, raise that up so if we get our object okay, so if we get that moving around there, affecting the other side, we can adjust that here. If you are done and we need to weld these two sides together, what we can do is go ahead and pick the object and go in here to modify, convert, and convert instance to object. But once you've done that, you will not be able to affect that object anymore. So you can see it's an independent object now. But once it is converted, you can combine those meshes into one and make sure your verts are welded, which so it'll be good to go. Go ahead and shut that off. So then you have your body started. Actually should be finished by the time you weld your two sides together. Hey, another way that you could do that, there's always a number of ways to do everything. We'll go back to two objects and delete that one. So you have the one object. Is you can use mirror. Let's see. Here we go. Mirror geometry. Bring up your window. You want to mirror across the negative x-axis. And here you have a merge with the original. You have a number of options here that you can utilize. So if we apply that, you can see that it does that. But it looks like we've got some very curious welding problem here too, so let's take another look at that. Let's just not merge, apply that. Alright, so that gets us what we want except for the merging, and you can go to face, front, and grab your verts right down the center. Let's turn that soft select off, go back to weld verts. Let's see, where's that? Merge vert tool. Alright, there's one thing I want to point out here. It's really important to know is the threshold on this can really mess you up. So get right in here on your model and make sure that your threshold is set high enough where it welds. Alright, we're going to set our threshold down to 0.1. We're going to come in here, we're going to say merge border, and there we have a successful merge. Alright, so what it's doing is, oh, let's do target. If I'm grabbing the verts, it brings up the tool, but you want to make sure that the threshold is set before you actually give it a mode, otherwise it will screw you up. So it says merge border, and I have a 0.1 threshold on, seems to be fine. If you had more than that, that's when you get that bunching. You want to avoid that. If you get it, undo. Okay, that's Control Z on your keyboard. And redo your threshold. I typically go with 0.1. And then tell it to merge border vertices, and you'll be in business. Just want to make sure that that it actually does that for you before you go on. Sometimes it'll get the really close ones merged, and you won't see that until later, and then you'll have to go back and redo all that work, which isn't fun.